The AI chatbot market really feels like a modern day gold rush. Everyone's out there trying to stake their claim and strike it rich. But who's actually making money here? In this explainer, we're going to cut right through all the hype, look at the real tools of the trade, and figure out the actual business behind this digital boom. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start broad with a massive scale of this whole AI gold rush. Then we'll zoom way in, focusing on one single startup to see how they're trying to make their mark. After that, we'll pull back out to see the giants they're up against, break down the real costs involved, and wrap up by figuring out what this all means for you. So let's get right into it and talk numbers. Just how big is this AI gold rush we keep talking about? Well, the scale is honestly staggering, and it's changing whole industries faster than we can keep up. Get this, $41 billion. Let that sink in for a second. That's the projected size of the conversational AI market by 2030. This isn't just some niche tech trend. It's a massive economic shift that's creating unbelievable new value. And this chart just lays out that incredible journey. We're looking at a growth rate of almost 24% every single year. So what's fueling this explosion? It really boils down to two things: a huge demand for AI-powered customer support and the fact that it's getting cheaper and easier to build these tools. Now, to really get the business side of things, you have to understand the currency. In this new AI economy, everything, and I mean everything, is measured and sold in one fundamental unit. Let's break that down. And that unit is called a token. The easiest way to think about it is like this. Whenever you talk to an AI, it breaks down your words and its own answers into little pieces, these tokens. It's literally how these companies measure how much work their AI is doing for you, and you guessed it, it's how they charge you. But here's where it gets really interesting. The text you send in, that's measured in input tokens. The text the AI generates back, those are output tokens. And here's the catch. The output almost always costs more, sometimes 2, 3, even 5 times more. Why? Well, it's pretty simple. It takes a lot more computer power for the AI to create something totally new than it does to just read what you wrote. Okay, so now that we get the basics, let's see how this all plays out in the real world. We're going from this giant market down to a single prospector in this gold rush, a startup trying to find its niche and stake its claim. This is the exact problem that a small startup called GenixBit decided to tackle. This quote, pulled right from their pitch deck, just perfectly sums up the pain point they saw as a huge opportunity. They noticed there's a big technology gap for smaller businesses. And this is them, GenixBit. It's a small startup founded by 2 former software engineers who saw this gap and thought, hey, we can fix that. Their whole mission is to build custom, easy-to-use automation tools for businesses that don't have a massive IT department or a blank check to work with. And their strategy laid out here is just brilliant. They realized small and medium-sized businesses needed automation that wasn't a headache. So they built Genius AI, a chatbot that's designed to be super simple to set up. Its job is to handle all that repetitive stuff, answering common questions, grabbing new leads, so the actual people on the team can focus on the bigger picture. And the impact? It's real. One of their clients said they saved 120 hours of support time in just 1 month. That's huge. But what kind of world is a small startup like GenixBit actually walking into? Well, it's not exactly a quiet one. As we zoom back out, we see a landscape that's completely dominated by some of the biggest names in tech. Yeah, this chart pretty much tells the whole story, doesn't it? ChatGPT's dominance is just massive, holding over 60% of the entire market. Microsoft and Google have carved out big chunks for themselves too. So for any new player, it's a total David versus Goliath situation. And each of these giants has staked out its own territory. ChatGPT is the powerful all-rounder. Anthropic's Claude is famous for its amazing writing and coding skills. And of course, Google's Gemini and Microsoft's Copilot are playing their trump card, seamless integration into their own massive ecosystems. So for any business, whether you're a tiny startup or a tech titan, the bottom line always comes back to cost. So now we're going to decode the price tag on these incredibly powerful tools and dive into the pretty complex world of API pricing. First up, you've got the budget tier. These are the models where being cost-effective is the name of the game. We are talking fractions of a penny per 1,000 words. They're perfect for simple, high-volume stuff like sorting emails or basic Q&A, where you just need raw efficiency. Next, we move into the mid-range. And honestly, this is the sweet spot for a lot of businesses. Models like OpenAI's GPT-4o, Mini, or Anthropic's Haku give you a fantastic balance of power and price. They're the real workhorses that can handle more complex jobs without totally blowing your budget. And finally, we have the premium tier. This is the absolute state-of-the-art, the best of the best. Models like Claude 3 Opus have mind-blowing reasoning abilities, but they come with a seriously hefty price tag. We're talking hundreds of dollars for the same amount of work. You save these for your most critical, complex, high-stakes tasks. So how in the world do you manage these costs? Well, here are 5 key strategies. Write smarter prompts, tell the AI to keep its answers short, save and reuse common answers, and probably the most important one, always choose the cheapest model that can still get the job done right.
Okay, let's bring this all home. We've seen the giant market, we've looked at the underlying costs, and we've watched the clash between the titans and the newcomers. So what's your next move in this wild AI landscape?
Here's the most important takeaway. Yes, the AI market is a gold rush, and yes, it's dominated by giants. But the huge range in costs, from super cheap to ultra premium, combined with the thousands of very specific problems that still need solving, creates very real opportunities. A focused startup, just like GenixBit, can still find its own vein of gold by solving a problem that the giants are just too big to see. And that really leaves us with one final big question. We've seen the incredible power and potential packed into this technology, but in an industry that's so full of giants, where's the next genius idea going to come from? That's what we'll all be watching.